Hello, my friends, and welcome to Sharing Calm. My name is Sydney, and today I have a full-length Yin Yoga practice for you. Today's practice physically is primarily going to focus on the hips and the low body. Also get a good release through the low back as well. But philosophically, mentally, and kind of beyond physical, because yoga is not just about the physical body, our practice will be focusing on the concept of what is called Asteya. So for the past few weeks now, we've been moving through what are the yamas from yoga philosophy based on the Yoga Sutras of sage Patanjali. The first two, we practiced ahimsa, nonviolence, and satya, truthfulness. And now we're moving into Asteya, which is non-stealing. This concept of asteya not only refers to stealing from others like physical possessions, but stealing from the earth, stealing from the future, and stealing from ourselves. The most important thing when you're practicing non-stealing is really reflecting on this idea of if you feel like you're lacking in something, if you feel like you're always seeking and striving for more accomplishments, more to do, more possessions, more on your schedule, just constantly needing more. And this tends to come from a feeling of lacking, of not feeling content where you are in life. So in this physical practice, I will kind of guide this idea of finding a sense of contentment, a sense of acceptance where you are in your physical body, in the physical postures, and hopefully, eventually, this can translate outward off of your yoga mat, out of your yoga practice, and into your life, where you can let go of this need for seeking, constantly seeking out addition to the life. Kind of this realization that everything that we have in life is temporary, and just cultivating gratitude for what you do have and less feeling like you don't have enough. Kind of this feeling of always trusting that you do have enough. So all that being said, let's get started in our practice. We're going to start today on our backs in a reclined butterfly pose or reclined bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana, where you bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees out wide. The heels can be in close or can be a bit further away. You can place blocks, pillows, or cushions under the outer thighs or beneath the knees if the legs dangling into gravity feels like too much pressure. The arms, the hands can be on the body, can be at your sides, can even be out wide or overhead to add just a really gentle chest opener. In each yoga pose that we take today, we will be holding for a few minutes at a time. So in Yin Yoga, the goal is to not feel the need to go to your 100% range of motion, but to settle for a little bit less. So right away, this kind of calls to mind that idea of not needing more, not seeking an intense sensation in order to feel like the pose is enough. Trusting that the pose will bring to you exactly what it's meant to when you back off a little. Perhaps placing blocks underneath the outer knees, even if you normally wouldn't. Perhaps choosing to keep the hands down rather than adding the chest and shoulder opener. The first few breaths, you might take the time to adjust, shift around, move. And then eventually just allowing the body to be still. allowing the body to simply exist as it is without the need to change anything at all. And then here, particularly at the start of your practice, really starting to call your attention inward. You might do this by focusing on the cycle of breath, noticing where you feel the breath as it flows in, where you feel the breath as it flows out. And as you notice the breath, try not to control the breath in any way. Just allow it to be natural. Whether the breath is short or long, deep or shallow, whatever is happening with the breath, just objectively observing it without placing any judgment upon it. Take one more deep breath here. And then take your hands to the outer edges of the thighs. Help lift the knees up to the sky. Walk your feet a little bit wider than the hips so that the inner thighs can fall towards one another. Just taking a moment here to allow the hips to internally rotate, to allow yourself to experience the rebound of sensation after that first pose. And then from here, you can either roll to the side or just lift yourself upright, coming into a seat, whatever way is easiest for you to get there. And once you are in a seat, we're going to take what's called shoelace pose or cow-faced pose in Yin. We'll be stacking the knees on top of one another, the right knee on top first. If this is not accessible to you in any way, the knees do not have to be stacked. You can separate them, maybe the right heel on top of the left knee, or you can just bring the right foot in front. From there, you'll either sit tall, remain tall, or perhaps you'll hinge at the hips to fold forward any amount, a little or a lot. You can always place blocks or props underneath the knees, underneath your seat, or underneath your forehead to support any parts of the body that feel like they need that space filled, that empty space between the ground and your body, so that the weight of the body and gravity isn't making the sensation too much. Remembering that you don't need to seek more sensation in order for the pose to give you exactly what you need right here and right now. Remaining present with your breath, your natural breath, natural rhythmic flow of inhales and exhales. Take one more round of breath here. And on your inhale, sitting upright if you're not already, take that leg that's in front or on top, the right leg, and extend it forward. And then take the left foot, bring it to the outside of the left hip. So that knee is internally rotating. You can have the knee wide, or you can have the knees close towards one another. We're starting to stretch now into the top of that left thigh. You might stay upright, or from here you might start to lean back. You can lean back either a little bit or a lot. You might end up coming flat down on the ground. You might place blocks or cushions or pillows behind the back and behind the head if you'd like to lean back a little bit further. Allowing yourself to invite a sense of release, a sense of softness into the muscles of the left thigh, the left hip. Take one more full breath here. And then start to come upright if you are reclined back. And then unbending that left knee. You can extend both legs forward, maybe lie down on your back for a few breaths. These moments of pause that occasionally appear between poses are thought of as the rebound. In Yin Yoga, just as important, if not more so than the pose itself, and feeling the after effects of the stretch that just took place. And preparing for those two poses on the second side, starting with shoelace. So the left knee will be on top this time, remembering that the knees can be stacked, the feet can be closer, a little wider, or you can open up the knees apart from one another, maybe even just sitting with that left foot folded in front of the right foot this time. You can sit your hips up onto blocks, you can place blocks beneath the knees, or if you're folding forward and you go far enough, you might place a block beneath the forehead here as well. And once you've found your position, your variation, just allow yourself to be still and to be present and to be okay with wherever you've landed. Give yourself one more breath. And then start to sit tall if you're folded forward any amount. The left leg, the leg that's on top or in front, will extend forward. And the opposite hip will switch to an internal rotation as you bring that right foot to the outside of the right hip. Right knee open wide, close to that left knee or anywhere in between. You can always remain sitting up on a block here, remaining upright if that brings enough sensation into that right thigh, into that right knee. Perhaps reclining back any amount, a little or a lot, onto props or flat on the ground, or just supporting yourself with your forearms. As we've settled into this practice for a little while, starting to notice what happens in your mind when you choose to be still. Is the mind seeking for distraction, trying to entertain itself, reminiscing or reflecting on the past, perhaps anticipating or projecting into the future? Whatever thoughts are there or not there. Not necessarily trying to control or force them to be different, but just taking your focus from those thoughts, whatever's arising, whatever's passing, taking your attention and placing it onto the breath instead. One more long breath here. And when that's complete, bringing yourself out of the shape. Sitting upright if you were reclining back. Unhooking that right foot from behind you, extending the legs forward, perhaps lying down flat. Just for a few rounds of breath, feeling that rebound, that bounce back, afterglow of the poses that you've just moved through here on this side. Observing how both the body and the mind and the breath change in response. And then when you're ready, never any rush, especially in your home practice. You can always pause and come back as you're ready. We will now move into a lunge pose. So lots of options always here. Stepping the right foot forward, hands can frame that front leg. You can have the hands on blocks on that front thigh. You can take both arms inside of the front leg, widening the right foot out to the side. In either variation, hands can be up on blocks, or the hands can come down. Perhaps the forearms come down on blocks or onto the earth. You can keep that back leg straight and down, or you can bend the back leg, noticing how that changes what you're feeling in the front of that left thigh. You can hold that back foot if it's within reach, either with your hand or grabbing a strap or a belt of some kind. Notice if there's any place in your body that you're clenching, that you're bringing more tension in, and then back off a little, inviting a sense of softness instead. Take one more breath in the pose. And then gently unwinding from it. Keeping that right leg in front. Coming into a half split. Shifting the hips back in space. Flexing the right toes up to the sky. A micro bend in that right knee. The hips will move back above that back leg. You might like to stack your blocks and come to almost sit that right hip, right glute on top of your blocks, folding from here rather than being more upright in the air, if this is supportive. Feeling the belly just softening towards the right thigh. The chest softening towards the right knee. You might start to notice how the breath changes and adjusts to help the body remain stable and steady in the different shapes that you take. Might notice how the breath has to deepen, become a little more audible in some cases, or how the breath just naturally slows down in other cases. One more breath here. And then starting to lift back forward into that low lunge, from which to a sleeping swan or pigeon pose. So crawling the right foot over to the left so the right knee can come down. The right shin might be parallel with the top edge of the mat, or the right heel can be pretty close underneath you, anywhere in between. If being in this front pigeon belly down is not suitable for you, you can take figure four with the right knee on top of the left thigh and reclining back from there. So that is up to you and your joints, really not up to you, up to your body. And then you just learn to accept it rather than inviting pain by thinking that you need to do one variation of a pose. Cultivating a sense of acceptance for what your body actually needs, rather than what your thinking mind, your craving mind desires. You can stay upright here, or you can fold forward. If you're on your back, you can keep the left foot on the ground, or you can hug the legs in closer. Always just remaining present for where you are, remaining present for what's happening with the breath, and just observing the fluctuating sensations in the body, noticing where you feel the pose, and observing how those sensations, how what you're feeling kind of ebbs and flows as time passes by. Take just one more breath. And then moving out of your pigeon pose, your sleeping swan pose variation, finding any comfortable neutral position for a few breaths to rebound. Let that go. So either sitting, lying down on your back, or lying on your belly. Feeling all the effects, both physically and mentally, perhaps emotionally and spiritually, of that series of poses. Using all this time in your practice to notice what the practice is bringing to you, what wisdoms and insights have been gained or are being learned. Now moving to that second side, starting with the lunge pose or lizard pose. Depending on the variation you're taking, the left foot will step forward. You can have the hands once again on blocks or on the ground, framing that front leg or widening the left foot to the left, both hands inside. You can remain upright. You do not need to change anything else. If you feel like you're feeling nothing and you want some sensation to really hold and anchor your mind in presence, you might come further, folding down onto the forearms, on blocks or on the ground. You might bend that back knee, toes to the sky, and perhaps an arm reaches back to connect. If it doesn't connect, but you want that connection, you can always wrap a strap or a belt, scarf around the foot or ankle, basically to extend the length of your arm. Never any pressure to do any more, anything different. But also never any pressure to do less, receiving all that is abundant, all that the pose has for you. Leaning into the gift that is this moment. Being open to receive whatever that gift is for you. One more breath here. And mindfully make your way out of the pose if you're folding forward or have that back knee bent. We'll move from here into that half split pose, shifting the hips back, flexing the right toes up to the sky, soft bend in that right knee. You can keep the hips hovering, or you can come to sit back, either on blocks or all the way down. Can be more upright or hinging at the hips to fold forward, any amount. Finding length in the back of that left leg. Notice if there's any part of you that feels like you are pulling, reaching, or forcing. And try to invite a sense of ease, a little bit backing off. Practicing contentment. Take one more breath in this pose. Bring yourself forward through your low lunge, bending the left knee, and moving into your sleeping swan or pigeon pose, taking your left foot over to the right, bending the left knee as much as is necessary, and crawling the right knee back, or flipping over onto your back side so the left heel can come on top of the right thigh, opening that left hip. Either way, if you're on your front, and you might lower down, folding forward. If you're on your back, you might hug the legs in towards the chest. Wherever you feel or notice a sense of lack, a sense of frustration, boredom, or judgment, take that time to practice gratitude instead. Gratitude for anything that comes to mind. Gratitude for this life that we've been given, for each breath a gift of life. Gratitude for fresh air, for sunlight, for people or pets in your life, anything at all that comes to mind, giving thanks. Just one more breath here. And coming out of the pose in a safe, mindful, and gentle way. Once again, finding a rebound pose of your choice. Can be sitting or lying down, just something neutral. Something that allows the body to relax and release after that series of 3 poses on the second side. You might feel a flush of energy through the places that were being stimulated. Aiming to keep the mind just calm, objectively observing. Whether you notice a lot or notice nothing extraordinary at all, remaining content. And from there, making your way into a seat once again. If you're lying down, coming back up, we'll find a wide-legged forward fold or dragonfly pose. So opening your legs any comfortable width. If you feel like you're really rounded in the back, you can sit up onto a blanket here. Sitting tall, you can have a bend through the knees if you like. Make this more of a squat pose. The hands can be behind you, helping you to remain upright and tall. If it's easy for you to remain upright, like you don't slouch when the hands come away, that's when you might start to hinge and fold forward any amount. And the arms, rather than clawing to go deeper, just let the arms, maybe palms face up, a little more receptive. Receptive for what this life has for you. Trusting that it will always be enough. You will always have all that you need in each moment. Letting go of the desire to add more or seek different for yourself. Our time here is temporary, everything impermanent. Letting go of the need to gather more things, to label things as mine, as my this, my that. Knowing that when we leave this earth, we leave behind these possessions we thought to be ours. So in a way, not stealing from our own peace by wanting for different, not stealing from others by taking what we do not need. Open to receiving whatever gifts that this life has for us and openly letting them go when they are no longer ours. Actively both receiving and giving. Freely like the breath flowing in, flowing out. Take just one more full breath here. And on an inhale, releasing the forward fold if you had it. Taking your hands underneath the knees, help them bend. Walking the feet back together. And then making your way down onto your back. You can stay seated for a couple of breaths. As we'll rebound for about a minute before moving into the next pose, which we will then take from our backs. Feeling the effects of that wide-legged position. Noticing what you feel in your hips and your low back. If you're not already on your back, take the time to get there. Bend your knees up to the sky, feet on the ground. Then cross your right leg on top of your left leg, bringing the knees as close together as you're able to. Press down into your left foot so you can lift the hips, slide them a little bit to the right. And then let the knees fall down to the left side. If you need to place a block or a cushion underneath that inner left knee, you can place it there. Hands can rest on the body. It can open wide like a cactus or all the way wide like a T. And if having the legs crossed in this way is in any way too much, you can uncross the legs and just stack the knees on top of one another. And in this twist, in any twist, you can choose to gaze just straight. You can choose to turn the gaze in the direction of the knees, or you can turn the gaze away from the knees, whatever feels best in your neck. Paying particular attention to the exhale here, the release, the letting go. Not holding on to the breath, not hoarding the breath, but letting it all release completely from the body on the exhale. And like any last tension, any last stiffness, releasing with it. So one more breath here. Stay for the full exhale, releasing it all. And then lifting the knees up through center, taking your time as you come out of that twist, uncrossing the legs if they're crossed. Just feeling your back flat and supported, knees bent or legs extend long. Taking a pause before moving into the second side. Not rushing or running to the next thing. But soaking up all that is here in this present moment. And when you are ready, cross that left knee on top of the right knee this time. If you already know that crossing the legs is not going to be beneficial, then no need. Just keeping the knees on the same side as they belong. Pressing down into the right foot to lift and shift the hips over to the left. Then let the knees twist over to the right side this time. Arms, once again, can be on the body. They can be open wide, like a T, or bent in any way, like a cactus. Placing any props between your body and the ground beneath you, underneath the knees, underneath the shoulders or the head. Offering yourself support when the body is requesting it. Honoring the needs of the body so that we don't steal from our health, from our longevity by inviting pain or injury. Settling in whatever variation your body needs so that you may find ease. Once again, drawing your attention particularly onto the exhales here. Inviting softness, a sense of release, a sense of non-hoarding, non-stealing, by allowing yourself to let go of whatever is not needed. And exhale when the breath is complete. Letting go of stress or tension in the body, letting go of unneeded thoughts in the mind. Just remaining present. Each breath out, letting go. Sense of surrender. One more breath in this twist. And then gently unwind. Bringing your whole back flat. Uncrossing the legs if they're crossed. From here, finding any last little movements, stretches, or releases that the body needs and is seeking in order to find harmony and balance. And then when you're ready, finding a final resting pose of your choice. This might be Shavasana, lying flat, extending the arms at your sides, extending the legs long. You might need to have the knees bent up towards the sky, maybe feet wide, knees fall in towards one another. You might have the legs extended long, but a pillow beneath the knees, maybe legs up the wall, maybe lying on the left side or the right side, or lying on your belly feels more restful for you. Shavasana is about letting the whole body rest, letting the practice integrate all the effort that you applied, letting the body do what it knows to do with that effort. Soaking up everything that you've done. Almost like the body and the mind process the practice here. This is where you get to trust that you've truly done enough. Nothing more to do. Nowhere to be. Just allowing yourself to exist as you are, releasing the limbs heavy, letting the torso relax down. Letting the forehead, the eyebrows, and the eyes be soft. Letting the teeth slightly part, the tongue relax in the mouth, the jaw becomes soft. A simple act of allowing yourself to be still. For even just this time right here, letting go of any need for anything more or anything different. Letting these last moments of stillness be enough. Start to bring your attention back if it's drifted away, noticing the breath once again. Noticing the touch of the breath. And starting to invite the breath to be a little bit deeper, breathing actively in, feeling the belly rise, watching it fall. Starting to reawaken the body, wiggle the fingers and the toes, roll the wrists and the ankles. Might take a full body stretch and reach the arms overhead, and then eventually bending the knees in. Might hug them in towards your chest and roll to either side. And then from there, press your way all the way up into a comfortable seat, any seat of your choice. Sitting tall, the hands can rest in the lap, or you might connect the palms together at the heart, noticing how you feel here, not letting the moment pass you by, not letting the practice pass you by, feeling all the effects of your practice completely. And closing with a moment of gratitude. Gratitude towards this practice of yoga, all the many teachers and students who practiced before us so that we could have this practice here together today. A moment of gratitude towards yourself, from yourself, and a real and honest moment of gratitude towards anything in your life that comes to mind today, whether big or small. Give thanks for something in your life. From here, lifting thumb knuckles up to the center of the forehead, if you feel that serves you, recognizing the inner guide, the goodness, the light that exists within each of us. And that light within me bows with respect, reverence, so much gratitude towards each of you. Namaste. Thank you so very much, always, always, for sharing your time and allowing me to share this practice of yoga with you in order to help you find more peace, more balance, to help bring liberation of suffering to all beings in this world equally. There's this concept that we're all just walking each other home, and I find that to be so beautiful and so true. I don't know more than you. My life is just different, and I'm just trying to bring what I have learned in this practice of yoga out into the world in the best way that I know how. And I always appreciate any insights, any comments about how your practice went, if you'd like to share that below. It's been really beautiful to hear from some of you out there as you practice these videos. And it really brings a lot of warmth, a lot of gratitude to my heart to see how much this practice of yoga is benefiting you in your life. It's really a gift. This practice of yoga is a gift that we can bountifully receive if we only allow it. As always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening or week, month, year, wherever you are in life. I wish you only the best and so much love. I will see you next time. Goodbye.